So I come up on this video by this, particular lady by the name of Diamond the Body. I never heard of her before, but it got on my radar is because what she said in this video was actually the most disrespectful thing that you can say about men who just trying to work, right? And the utter delusion of Diamond here. But I want you to let's listen to this clip and we're gonna go on and break this down because this woman thinks she knows what a so-called high value man is, but utterly she has no clue and she was just straight being disrespectful.
Here's a list of jobs that men should not do, especially grown men, okay? For one, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. Matter of fact, any fast food restaurant, if you think that you're a grown man working in a fast food restaurant is okay, something is wrong with you, all right? Leave those jobs to the teenagers. My nephew can't even get a job right now because there's some grown man in his 40s flipping my burger. Okay? Let it go. Leave it alone. That job is not for you. Anything in retail, okay? I don't want to see no grown-ass man handing me a dress, okay? Why are you a grown-ass man working at Ross? That makes absolutely no sense, okay? Target, Marshalls, like, guys, give it up. Leave these jobs to the kids. Leave these jobs to the teenagers. These are jobs you get in high school, in college. But once you're a grown man, you do not need to be working in any fast food restaurant or any retail restaurant. And for you high value men that think that it's high value to work for the city, let me tell you something. You're absolutely wrong, all right? No police officers, no firefighters, no construction workers, no mailmen, no post office. If you consider that a high value man, you're absolutely wrong, okay? There's nothing high value about making $70,000 a year.
Now, let me talk about the point that I do agree with her with. If you are in your 40s and you are working at McDonald's, and you was not incarcerated or nothing to that effect, right? That could have messed with your employment, or you just got out of being incarcerated or whatever. If you just played around in your 20s, played around in your 30s, and now you in your 40s working at McDonald's, and I'm not saying you're not the manager of McDonald's, or you don't own the store, or you don't run the store itself at McDonald's or Burger King, etc., then I will have to agree with her. If you are 40 plus as a man working at McDonald's, and you didn't go through no hard time when you lost everything, so that's the first job you can get. But if it is the first job you can get, it's nothing wrong with that. I'm just talking about different scenarios, right? Because most people are not going to stay at a McDonald's job because that's not enough money, especially as a man. So let me go to that point where I say I'm at least agree with her there. I do agree that fast food jobs should be for teenagers because, listen, me working at Wendy's, I worked at Wendy's before, I worked at McDonald's before, right? That inspired me to say, oh, no, I am not going to work like this. This is, number one, you work too hard and not enough money. No, hell no, because I meant that. When I got that revelation that you work smart and not hard, I live by that. Now, let's get to the next steps. You talk about retail. What is wrong with a man working a retail job? Let me tell you something. Retail is when you go to the men's warehouse, when you go to Jose Bank, any kind of place like that, right? You're trying to go buy a suit. What most women know about men's suits? I'm not saying they can't learn anything, but they don't wear suits as men, right? Now, I'm not talking about the studs. We're talking about the average woman. Right? And even the stud don't have the body shape and fit of a man. Let's call it what it is. What does she know about classic fit, modern fit, slim fit? What does she know about certain things that we talk about as men on the way it feels on us or whatever the case may be? Well, you do need men to discuss those issues with other men when you're shopping. What's wrong with that? Nothing. Retail's also when you go in there to buy your cars. Men are selling that too. See, retail is anything like that. It's not just clothes, ma'am. And even if the man is working in Dillard's or a man working in Macy's, so what? It's a job, and a lot of times they're working in the men's department. They're not putting him in the department selling dresses a lot of times. They put him in mostly trying to sell men's clothes or something just maybe for everybody. But you do need men to do certain things because I don't want to go no woman to ask about certain questions about clothes and you're not even a man. And just like a woman don't want to ask a man about certain things about women's, bras and all kind of things that women wear. He didn't want to ask a man that. So that was stupid. But the last thing she said, and this would really made me make the video, is when she put down police officers, she put down city workers, she put down firefighters, construction workers, all those type of men. You mentioned high value man, right? And your version of high value man, which I don't like that term too much, but your version of high value man is how much money you make per year. I will say your firefighter is a high value individual in society. Let me tell you why. When your house is burning down and you pick up the phone or call 911 and say, hey, my house is on fire, can you send a fire department? It's never a group of women that's coming to put out the fire. Now, it may be one or so in the group, but it's never always a bunch of women showing up to put out fires, right? So you want to down firefighters. I did industrial firefighting in the petrochemical side. It is very hard and very dangerous to be a firefighter. So how dare you put down firefighters? You talk about police officers, right? And how much they make. When you have your issue out there with John Quavius and you want to pick up the phone talking about John Quavius won't leave the house, who is coming to the door 9 times out of 10? A man. It's not a bunch of women that show up. It's a man. When you have different things going on, oh, what the police at? Oh, look at how they acting. Oh, there's terrorism, whatever. What the police at? That's the first thing you ask, where the police is at. When you're going out to your nightclub or whatever, most people say, oh, the police is there to make sure no issues, no problems, right? Then you talk about city workers. Well, city workers has to do with your sanitation, ma'am. If the men wasn't doing that and they all felt like, man, I shouldn't do that job because, I'm not a high value man at all, then you wouldn't have your trash picked up. The trash would be piling up all over the streets. What about your water treatment plants that work in your city? And when you open up that faucet, you got clean water coming out within reason. It's not something I would drink. I never advocate that. Or when you flush your toilet, at least clean water coming out. It's not brown or black or nothing else. What about the men that work with the electric grid that's in the city? What about you guys who work with the light company and your linemen and your different electricians and all type of things so you can have power in your house? You got lights on. What about the men that's making that cell phone and keeping the cell phone towers going so you can make your videos? What about the men that maintain the cable and the internet, right? What are you talking about? Then you talk about the construction worker. You silly woman, you. When you go and get them nails done that's on your hands, men built the building that you going in there to get your nails done with, ma'am. Women didn't build that. When you go to those same retail stores to go buy your clothes, men built that building so that store could be there so you can go shop, ma'am. When you go get your hair done, whatever you do to it, men built the building for that, construction. When you trying to drive to these buildings, men built the roads, men built the bridges. And you want to talk down on construction workers? When y'all want to go do your 304 in Jamaica, men built the airports and the airplanes that you getting on to go to Jamaica. Come on now. What you got to say about that? Stop being disrespectful to men. If men collectively went on strike for a week all over the world would crash because men are maintaining the world. And most women not looking to go out there and do no construction job for 12 hours. Most women's not trying to go up there on no skyscrapers and build a skyscraper. They're not looking to go do that. So yes, construction workers are very, very important. How dare you sit up there and disrespect those men who do those jobs that are very essential for society? I looked at your hand. It looked like you got a ring on your hand. Whatever man that's gonna sit up here and let you disrespect men like that, I'm pretty sure you disrespected him like that. And brother, if you with her, you better think about that. If a woman don't respect men, she not gonna respect the man that she with. And it's gonna show in your relationship. Don't you ever be with a woman that disrespect men or disrespect you either. That's not what Brother Kevin was talking about. Kevin Samuels, I know you got that from Kevin. Kevin Samuels so many times had talked about the same thing I just said, basically, about how the men run the world. And I never heard Kevin Samuels not one time disrespect any of those type of people, not once. So stop trying to take what Kevin Samuels was saying and weaponizing against men so you could disrespect them. That's the one thing I hated about the pandemic, man. Oh, that's one thing I hated about the pandemic is that not everybody want to do a podcast. Everybody. It's kind of like one of them things, leave the podcast to the professionals who've been in the game. They actually got some sense. I like new people coming around, don't get me wrong, but some people that came around, they should not even